Well, let's take a look at some of our national and international headlines for this Monday morning, April 10th, 2017. Looks like President Trump has doubled down in defending his use of Tomahawk missiles to take care of the Syrian problem. This as Syrian warplanes have taken off from this very same airstrip that he bombed to go and bomb the village that was already bombed by some kind of a chemical attack. Now, whether it was actually sarin gas is disputable, since the people who came in to clean up afterwards were not wearing full body suits, which meant that they themselves would have been dropping dead if they had touched what had been contaminated with sarin gas. I'm not sure what was used. Obviously, something killed people. Not sure if it was Syrian warplanes that did it, although apparently Syrian warplanes did take off and attack that village once again. Satellite imagery has been produced showing the destruction of that airbase. The United States claiming that 58 of the 59 Tomahawk missiles hit their target. Russia insists that more than half of them missed. In fact, I was hearing that on the very first day. On Friday, I was hearing that only 23 of the 59 missiles actually hit that airbase. Isn't it weird that none of them hit the actual landing strips? Meanwhile, Sir Michael Fallon of the UK says that Russia is to blame for the deaths in Syria. And Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, says that there will be no peace in Syria until Assad is ousted. There's been an obvious picking of sides now in this civil war. Meanwhile, Russia and Iran have vowed continued military support for Assad, which is always great news when you've got major superpowers lining up on either side of a civil war and declaring that they're going to continue to. That's happened before, hasn't it? Not just Vietnam. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Spain, Guernica, anyone? Okay. Boris Johnson, that's the UK foreign minister, canceled his visit to Moscow. That was supposed to happen today. And there's been other developments, other things happened besides the whole Syrian bombing thing over the weekend. In Egypt on Sunday, 2 different Coptic churches were bombed. ISIS claimed responsibility. In Somalia, there was a deadly bomb blast near the Department of Defense. The new army chief just barely survived. Well, he was just barely missed by the deadly Mogadishu bomb blast. In Kashmir, protesters at the polls were shot at by Indian police. 6 of them died. And it looks like we've got a Russian computer programmer being held in Spain under U.S. warrant. Not exactly sure what the warrant is for, although it is believed that he is suspected of some kind of involvement with the Russian hacking claims. A U.S. admiral says that the Russian activity right now in the Mediterranean and other European seas is higher than at any other time during the Cold War, warning NATO not to get split and distracted by Putin's schemes. Instead of focusing on the local areas like, oh, look, Russia's putting stuff on our border, they should look at the bigger picture of, well, Russia's putting stuff on everybody's border. As long as we're looking at the bigger picture, how about how NATO is pushing everything on Russia's border? Also, in case you missed it, U.S. Navy strike group is on its way to the Korean peninsula right now, and there's speculation that North Korea could be next on Trump's hit list. My commentary today has to do with an event that happened in Alaska, where a couple of snow machiners were rescued, and I have something to say about that. Make sure you check that out. And if you've got an idea for me, either a news tip or something you'd like to see me do a comment on, send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.